Welcome back to Triple Alpha Sports Talk. I'm Josh, that's Bryce, and that's Roy over there. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button. Check the last podcast. 50% of our viewers were not subscribed. So we have new viewers, just not subscribed. So guess what? Hit that subscribe button and meet me in the comment section. Watch the whole draft, not a single comment. I was pretty upset. I was there the whole time waiting. Really upset.
Nobody talked about me picking Kool-Aid McKinstry to go to Dallas?
Nope. So hit the subscribe button, like, comment, share. That's going to take us into our NFL draft. Yes, the draft was last week, Thursday. And I'm going to tell you what, this did not go how I expected. I don't know if you guys can agree. It started off pretty chalk, and it started bouncing, man. And usually it doesn't do that until like pick 15 to 20. I thought it was all over the place early.
Yeah, I mean,
we'll talk about it. I'm going to go through the picks really fast in case you missed it. Number 1 pick, Bears take Caleb Williams. 2, Washington, Jaden Daniels. 3, Patriots, Drake May. 4, Cardinals, Marvin Harrison Jr. 5, Chargers, Joe Alt. 6, Malik Neighbors to the Giants. 7, J.C. Latham, tackle to the Titans. 8, Falcons, quarterback Michael Penix. 9, Bears, Rome Odunze. Is it a Dunze? Okay.
Romeo Odunze.
I think it's Rome Odunze.
I think it's Romy, like Romy.
Oh, well, I don't know. 10, Vikings, who traded up 1 pick, J.J. McCarthy. Jets, who traded back 1 pick with Minnesota, Olu Fashanu. 12, Broncos, I couldn't think of their damn name, Bo Nix. 13, Raiders, Brock Bowers. 14, Saints, Talise Huanga. 15, Colts, Leatu Latu. Seahawks, 16, Byron Murphy II. 17, Vikings, Dallas Turner. 18, Bengals, Amarius Mims. 19, Rams, Jared Verse. 20, Steelers, Troy Fuantu. 21, Dolphins, Chop Robinson. 22, Eagles, Quinyon Mitchell. 23, Jaguars, Brian Thomas Jr. 24, Lions, Terrion Arnold. 25, Green Bay, Jordan Morgan. 26, Buccaneers, Graham Barton. 27, Cardinals, Darius Robinson. 28, Chiefs, Xavier Worthy. 29, Dallas, Tyler Guyton. 30, Ravens, Nate Wiggins. 31, San Francisco, Ricky Pearsall. And 32, Panthers, Xavier Legette. So that's your first round.
Can you just pronounce your name correctly here so that nobody ever gets it wrong again?
Yeah, that's all right. I'm going to do first and last. Rome Odunze.
So we were both right. Rome Odunze.
Rome Odunze.
I had the last name right.
The only talking points I have: favorite individual pick, worst pick, or like worst individual pick, and team with the best draft. Now we didn't go over second, third, fourth, and after that, there's going to be hidden gems that we don't talk about and we don't know. But we can only base it off what we know. And I'm going to be honest, we don't know a lot about these prospects after the second round. Probably, we're not crazy in-depth football analysis. Is there anything that you want to talk about, Roy or Bryce, or do you just want to rock into the favorite picks?
I'll go favorite, unless you got something.
Okay, so your favorite individual pick, Roy. Now, this does not have to be who you think is going to be the best player. It could be easy and go, the best pick in the draft was number 1, Caleb Williams, because he's going to be the best player. You can do that, or you can take value into account as well. So I'll let you go first, Roy. What was your favorite pick of the draft?
Easily. I had 2 of them. I mean, As a Michigan fan, I love J.J. McCarthy going to Minnesota. I think that's a great pick. I think that's awesome.
I can't wait to play against him for the next 6 years.
I can't wait till he destroys the Bears.
Dominate him.
They said they're not going to play him for probably the first 2 years, so that's I'm okay with that.
Oh, it's going to be
the Sam Darnold show.
Shit out of him every year.
So, then I
average 6 picks against the Vikings for the next decade.
You will not. It'll be touchdown after touchdown against that pitiful Bears team. So and then also the Blake Corum show in the Rams. I love that pick.
Yeah, so. I was watching the draft when he got picked. Was it third round?
Third round, yeah.
I was really hoping he would fall to Dallas, man. I don't even like the fit in LA. I think him and Kyron Williams are very similar players.
Oh, I do too. But I love that he's on a good team. So
I hate the Rams. They're not good. They're a piece of shit. Fuck Sam Kroenke. Sorry for cussing. Bryce, what was your favorite individual pick in the draft?
I'm not even going to say the Bears ones because I think most Bears fans thought that's exactly how that would go at 1 and 9. The one that I thought was just the most fitting that there was no way it changed was at number 5, the Chargers taking Joe Alt. I thought that was just most perfect pick for any team in this draft. For them getting their new coach, Jim Harbaugh, going into the run offense. He's going to be a stud Pro Bowler for the next 20 years in this league. That guy is going to be good. And then the other one I have to say is the Eagles always land somebody crazy late, or it just falls to them. It doesn't make any sense. But they got Cooper DeJean breaking the color barrier yet again. Next guy to do it since Jackie Robinson. So, good for the Eagles picking up a stud down there in the second round.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I have quite a few that I loved. I'll just go over the quick ones that are just obvious. Marvin Harrison, you get it 4. It's a home run pick in my opinion. I know Roy won't believe that. I loved Odunze 9. I didn't know if both those receivers would fall that far. Him and Neighbors, he falls, he gets them. Dallas Turner at 17. This was a consensus top 10 pick that a lot of people had Atlanta going. He falls all the way to 17, and Minnesota trades up, and all they do is give up a 3 and a 4 next year. I loved it. I really do. And then the other one that the Eagles one I get, but all the corners fell, and so that was a trend. You look at Terrion Arnold fell. He was supposed to be top 15. So the corners fell, even though I do like the pick by the Eagles getting Mitchell, is Xavier Worthy falls all the way to Kansas City. And I couldn't believe it because Buffalo traded with them in need of a receiver, and they take the fastest player in the history of the combine. I cannot imagine the plays that Andy Reid will be able to draw for this kid. I really can't. I just do not get it. I love the pick, even though I think that's about fitting where he should have went, late first. Just the fit and everything. As long as he doesn't, drive as fast as he runs, I think he's going to be okay.
I agree.
So those were our favorite picks, and now we're on to the worst pick. Let's just get it out of the way. We're not picking Atlanta. We're not going to choose that because let's be real. We're going to talk about it right now, though. Michael Penix Jr. goes number 8 to the Atlanta Falcons. I don't care who wants to start, but go ahead.
You got to be pissed if you're Kirk Cousins. From what I read, he knew that they were taking a quarterback, but taking it with your first overall pick at number 8, that's just insane. They added $400 million worth of players this year to the offense. Why not go pick up Dallas Turner, who felt add somebody to your defense that can really beef your defense. They're trying to win a Super Bowl in the next 2 years. They're all in.
Yeah.
And they're taking a quarterback for the future. That's just it's bad. It's bad all around, if you ask me.
Roy?
When you have to explain your pick to your owner during the draft, you fucked up is what happened. That was bad. You spent all that money. You needed help on defense. You did nothing. You didn't do anything to help the guy you just signed to a 4-year deal. And then you draft a quarterback who's 24 years old, who will be, the time Kirk Cousins' career is done, you'll be 28.
Yeah.
That's just unreal. I thought they were going to take quarterback. I think that's what I read before the draft. They were going to take quarterback, but I thought that might be like the 3rd, 4th round, maybe
not number 8.
Not number 8 overall, where you needed
somebody that's 22 years old, somebody that's 20.
It's just ridiculous.
See, and the thing, I don't understand the direction. All offseason they signed Kirk Cousins. We all loved the pick for the most part. We loved it. It's a weak division in that NFC South. You can take advantage of that. All you have to do is get in. You never know what could happen. You have a good run game. You have Kirk Cousins, who is an accurate passer, who they haven't had since Matt Ryan. You have no defense really for the most part. And you're picking at number 8. No defensive players have been off the board at the point. You had your free selection of any defensive player, whoever you thought was going to be the best. And you take a quarterback. I don't hate the player, Michael Penix. I don't hate him.
No.
But I just don't. He's 24 years old. If everything goes according to plan, and this is what their GM said, we hope Kirk Cousins plays for 4 years. Okay, that makes sense. You're telling me you're going to roll out Michael Penix Jr. at the age of 28 years old, who's never played in the NFL, other than snaps. I just don't get it. And I don't hate drafting a quarterback and having him sit. It didn't need to be this year.
Yeah.
2 years from
plenty
now.
of guys in the next year's draft and the year after that. It'll be.
I mean,
Why not wait until the third round and take a Spencer Rattler? Like,
yeah, I don't get it this early. I don't get the age of the player. It just didn't make any sense.
I agree.
Now I think everybody in the world knows that's the worst pick of the draft. Outside of that, what did you guys not like? If there was any, you might not have any. I know I have.
Well,
I have.
there wasn't anything draft pick wise that I thought was just dumb. I mean, maybe
I have one.
The team that I was disappointed I couldn't believe they did was, you talked about it anyway, Buffalo trading back
no first round
with a team that you couldn't beat so they could get a good receiver, knowing that you need a receiver. And I'm not saying that Xavier Worthy fits what they do.
Yeah.
I think they got a good one in Keon Coleman. I think that fits more. And they needed draft picks. They didn't have a lot of draft picks. But
yeah, I don't hate it.
Trade with Kansas City.
That's
what I don't get.
Yeah, no, I do agree with it because you knew why they were moving up. It was for a receiver. Yeah. Bryce?
Did the Vikings flipped with the Jets, didn't they?
Correct. 10 and 11 flipped.
That is, I don't know exactly what they gave up for it, but that just makes no sense to me. You're taking JJ. There's no way that the Jets were taking JJ.
The only thing, and again, I have no clue. The only thing that I can understand is the Jets were open to moving, and they were afraid of someone else taking it and taking JJ.
I read Broncos, that the Broncos were looking at moving up to get somebody.
So they took it in their own hands and moved up and didn't give up what they probably gave up a fourth or a fifth.
I just don't.
And then they take their player.
I also don't value JJ as high as Roy. I mean, if you get Bo Nix, even if, let's say, the Broncos do move up and take JJ, if you get Bo Nix, I'm more happy with Bo Nix than I am with JJ, honestly.
Bo Nix.
I mean, everybody has their own value on quarterbacks. It's usually how it goes because then you're not going to like mine. I thought the worst pick of the draft outside of Penix was Bo Nix at 12. I didn't think Bo Nix was a first-round pick. I just don't. I just don't see him becoming a franchise quarterback. And I'm not saying that Zach Wilson is a franchise quarterback. This team is not going to compete this year. I mean, it's pretty obvious in my opinion. I just think there's bigger needs, and I don't think Bo Nix is, again, at 12, no defensive players off the board yet. They could have picked any defensive player. I just don't think Bo Nix, and I think they felt pressure to take him, thinking they needed a quarterback, and that was the only one left on the board. I mean, there was not another one outside of Rattler who didn't go to the fourth, I think.
Yeah, I agree. Penix would fall at that point.
Yeah, Penix, or I think most people thought Penix and Bo Nix would be available at 12.
Yeah.
People thought JJ would not.
I don't think Bo Nix is a first-round draft pick either. I agree. I think that Sean Payton knew he needed a quarterback.
Yeah.
There was only 6 quarterbacks, that were rated, even had good ratings. And I think he thought, oh, crap, if I don't get one of these guys, I'm going to have to get Spencer Rattler or somebody like that whose grades are way lower. So,
and I don't like when teams draft a need, like solely on a need. To me, he's not the best player on the board. You could have went Quinyon Mitchell. I know I talked to a couple of Broncos fans, and they wanted Quinyon Mitchell. They did, Pat Surtain's there. Impending contract, might not be back, might extend him. I don't think he's signed extension, but you could team him up and have a good cornerback room. You could have went Leatu Latu, good edge rusher. You could have went Byron Murphy, Dallas Turner. Could have went offensive line and just, helped whoever you have there. Because, maybe you look at next year. Sodor Sanders. I don't know. I just didn't like the pick of Bo Nix. It's because I'm not high on Bo Nix, but I didn't love the pick at 12. And then the last thing we have is the team with the best draft. Now, this will take into account the later picks, which we don't, I don't know all those players. And a year from now, we'll look like idiots probably. But, Bryce, I think I know what you're going to do, but I'll go with you. Who do you think had the best draft?
It's hard to say the Bears didn't. I mean, they had 2 picks in the top 10, and they got 2 generational value talents. So, I mean, it's hard to say it's not them. And they got the best punter might be of all time as a 4th round
draft
pick.
A punter in the draft.
4th round, Roy. 4th.
I was kind of stunned by it as well. And then I went back and looked, and I mean, this guy literally will pin it on the 1-yard line every single time that he punts the ball for the rest of the year.
Okay,
I'll take that bet with you. I'll take that bet with you.
every time.
I'm obviously not betting that.
How
You
about
guys know what I mean?
How about you, Roy? Who did you think had the best draft?
I had 3 teams I thought did really well to improve their team. One, I thought the Philadelphia Eagles got a good team players. They had the worst pass defense in the back end, and they got 2 good DBs on that. Actually, I think there's 4 teams. I thought the Detroit Lions did a good job getting what they needed on a cornerback and some playmakers. I thought the Bengals did a good job. They needed offensive linemen to help Burrows.
I love their first pick.
Mims, he's huge.
Yeah. After that, I don't know a lot about their draft, but I love their first pick.
I mean, I like they know what's his name. Is gone receiver wise.
T. Higgins.
Higgins is going to be gone after next year. So they got Jermaine Burton, who is fast. He's an Alabama wide receiver. He's pretty dang good, and they got him. Yeah. They got him in the 3rd round. I thought he was pretty good. And then the last one I thought did really well was I like the Nate Wiggins pick to freaking Ravens. I mean, he fits that perfectly, and that fell to them perfectly.
All corners did. Yeah. If you needed a corner this year, it was a good draft.
Yeah,
because they fell.
Again.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, Roy, I have a lot of yours. I thought the Bears killed it. I'm so high on Caleb Williams, and Rome Odunze seems like he wants to be there and wants to play with him. I don't blame him. I think though, with taking Odunze, you probably have what's his face, Keenan Allen on a 1-year rental. I mean, I just don't see him bringing him back. If you give him the time to develop Odunze, that's a good 1-2 punch. I mean, I still love the pick.
I mean, we might have the best receiver room in the NFL right now.
I mean, yeah. The thing I don't love is I just don't see Odunze on the field a crazy amount. It's going to be him in the slot, but he's an outside receiver in my opinion, coming into the slot. But I just the Bears have a new OC, so I don't know how their offense is going to work. If they're going to have a lot of two wide receiver, 2 tight end, or they're going to go 4 out. It's hard to say. But I love their draft outside of the punter. I just don't like taking punters or kickers like that.
I don't either.
I thought the Eagles, like you said, Roy, they just got a lot of good value. And usually that's what good teams do. They'll take the best player available, even though they did need a corner this year in this regard. They just take best player available and they make it work. That's what good teams do. That's why they're good every year. I agree the Lions. I thought the Lions had a good draft. Same thing. They took players that fit their style. And this year they didn't go crazy in taking, running back at 8 that people thought would fall to 2nd like Gibbs last year. But it doesn't matter where they're taking them because they fit their style and they're going to work. That's just It's good drafting. And the team that I have a question mark on, it all depends on one player. And I have the Minnesota Vikings. I love their Dallas Turner pick at 17. I loved it. People thought that was the best defensive player on the board, and they got him at 17. And you took J.J. McCarthy at 10, which you really didn't give up anything to move up 1 pick. But it all hinges on J.J. McCarthy. If he can come in and fit that offense like Kirk Cousins did, just hit the throws he needs to, and he's going to be a little bit more athletic to run, and you have Jay Jettas, and he performs well, and Jay Jettas stays, it's a home run.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I thought the Vikings had a good draft as long as J.J. McCarthy turned into a good player. If he doesn't, then
he's going to sit the first. I mean, the coach even came out and said, he's going to at least sit the first 2 years.
I don't believe that. I really don't. I mean, I believe he will not start week 1. Sam Darnold is who they brought in.
I think Sam Darnold will start all year, and he may start the 2nd year.
If Sam Darnold throws that first game and throws 4 picks, Jay Jettas is going to be on the phone saying, "Get him in right now, or I'm leaving," and they're going to be like, "All right, go JJ."
I don't know. I just think that he needs a lot more development. That he's not going to. If you throw him into a starting position, it's going to be just like what the Bears have done the past 20 years.
I mean, they have Aaron Jones now. I don't think they have to throw the ball 50 times a game.
I agree. So, I think JJ's just more of a playmaker than what a lot of the other quarterbacks are.
I think that's going to do it for our draft episode. You guys got anything else?
Nope.
All right. Appreciate the support. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you're new. Peace out.
Gotta find